Morning, Elizabeth. We're going to go through your recent form that you filled in for the for track coaching during the summer. So you filled in the form. First part is general information, which is your personal details, and then we go into some more personal stuff about yourself and what your aspirations are for 2017. So just looking at this, I mean, I've known you for a long time, probably since you were about 5 or 6, and you've been at Slipstream as
about 11 years now.
11 years, so one of the longest serving members here. And in that time, we've seen you develop from a very young go-ride cyclist to a sporting cyclist, and you've looked at many disciplines. You've looked at time trial, you've looked at track, and you've looked at road racing, and you've experienced all those. Okay. So if we start to look at what we're going to do in 2017, I've got to say that I've been coaching you with road and time trial for some time, so we know each other, we know what each other is capable of, and what our expectations are. So starting with this, you're currently mid GCSEs now.
Yep.
How's that going?
It's stressful, but I'm managing. It's nearly over. It's the final push. I'm getting there. I'm getting the grades now, saying, okay, I'm probably in a good position. So.
Good. So you're happy with that?
Yeah.
How are you finding fitting in your training?
It's quite difficult, like physically, because I'm waking up quite early to fit it in, because I get home quite late. But now that I've got into a routine, I'm actually managing quite well. And I prefer training in the mornings at 20 to 6.
Yeah.
Than during the evenings.
So I noticed that you're generally a very, very early starter. You get your training out of the way. You provide feedback on a daily basis, and you do all that before most people have had their breakfast.
Yeah.
So I mean, that says to me it's a very strong ethic. It says to me it's a very strong regime that you put towards your training. As a part of that, I see that. How do you feel about your current fitness? Have you marked that as a 7?
I feel good about it, but I know that I can probably get it higher. So I'm happy with where it is and how far I've come. I think, okay, I can probably get this higher. I can probably push on and be fitter than I am now.
Where would you have put yourself 18 months ago?
18 months ago, I wouldn't know what I was capable of. So either I'd probably put it at the same level, thinking, yeah, I'm probably okay with fitness.
Mm-hmm.
But if it was this mindset 18 months ago, definitely a lot lower, like 32.
Okay. And your state of health? 8. Well, what's going on with health?
I'm asthmatic. I get quite sick quite easily in the winter.
Mm.
And it's nothing that bothers me really, because it's happened for years now, and it's better than it used to be because I'm fitter. But I'm like, okay, I'm not the healthiest person in the world because obviously I get sick. But I'm taking precautions to make sure that I don't. So I could rate that higher, but 8 is sort of.
And what precautions are you taking to make sure you don't?
I always measure my heart rate.
I know.
If I remember, so I know if I'm getting sick. If I know I am, I'm like, okay, I'm going to stop. I sometimes take things like echinacea. I take when it's winter time. I'm drinking this cranberry juice. I'm taking the echinacea. I'm taking antihistamines. So I'm a lot healthier than I was. But
You didn't put any of that in down here.
I don't have any special virtues.
But you're taking supplements, so you're taking echinacea and
I didn't
so
know
on. So but that would be a supplement.
Yeah.
So again, let's think about what we're doing in a more detailed level. So if you are finding something that works for you to treat a specific problem, let's just make sure we don't have any knock-on effects to anything else. So sporting induced asthma, I think, having seen you race for many years, I think you're overcoming and handling and managing your asthma. And I also think that to a degree, I think you're starting to grow out of it. Certainly during the summer,
really
but I understand it affects you in the winter.
Yeah, the winter it affects me, but definitely not as badly as it used to. When I used to have an asthma attack when I was younger, it used to be just horrible. I had to stop cycling. But now if I'm getting a sore chest, I'm like, okay, if I can take these careful breaths, it actually is a lot better. I don't have to use my inhaler as much as I used to.
Sure. Good. Before we go on to achievements, karate. Tell me a little bit about karate.
Karate I've been doing since I was about 8, because my sister started and I immediately was like, well, she can't be better than me, so I joined karate. I liked it. It was through karate that I became sort of more interested in cycling, because on my black belt challenge I did a 10-mile time trial in 33 minutes. But that was like, okay, I really like time trialing, I need to start pushing myself. So when I got my black belt I was like, okay, that's done, that's something I've worked for a long time, I'm going to start focusing on my cycling, which is what I really, really love.
And how does, so for me, karate is a chance to work on your strength, your conditioning, and your core, your trunk exercises. So keeping doing that once a week, that's something that we recognise. We think that's important to where you continue to develop.
Yeah, it's also variety, isn't it?
So, achievements and ambitions. Did very well in the GHS TT last year. Again, I think you've come on leaps and bounds with structured training. How you approach time trials, I think, has been excellent. Your progress in road races is also improving. I think one of the things that we've called out that will affect your track performance as well is that you need to be a little bit more aggressive.
Because I have a fitness, it's just, if I'm in a race situation, I keep pushing constantly.
And I think that's one of the comments that you made further on in this, is that you like those time trial situations, the two-up start style of riding, where I think if there's just two of you or a small number, then that your confidence grows. Once we start in that melee, the bunch activity, I think we need to work on your confidence. That's something that we've noticed. Second, I think that's your highest podium in a big race to date.
I
think that's
definitely since I was little. When I was little, it doesn't really.
Yeah, but I think this is something that's it's coming together now for you in road racing. I think you've noticed that, and I think that's something that we'd like to take onto track now, build on that confidence and take it onto track. Your aspirations for 2017. See that you want to be competitive at local track series. So I take it that's going to be the Welland track series. Have you registered for Welland track?
Not yet.
Okay.
But I know the guy who's running it.
Yeah.
And so he said should be doing. He might be putting me off for a few races into the sort of senior sort of category thingy. I'm not quite sure how it works, but I'm going to be signing up for that. I know the fact who's running it.
Okay, so good. So you know they've got the accreditation process. You need to get that in place. And you also have signed up for the Omniums.
Yes.
Okay. I'll check the dates with you because I need to make sure what groups which group Omniums you're taking part in. You're also Lee Valley accredited now. Are we watching for specific races at Lee Valley?
I don't know if I'm watching them because it's obviously going to be my first proper season of the track, but I'm sort of going Lee Valley Track League this year. I want to be doing well in that. And just the Omniums, obviously. It's a qualifiers for the Nationals. I'm sat here thinking I might not, but I'm going to get my best experience because I'm learning from all these other people doing them and see how it's done and get my feel for it and see what type of track rider I am.
So you've got mixed focus this year. You've got your track league that you want to take part in. You want the Omnium qualifiers. You've also got your national races that you want to take place in, national road races, and you've also got your time trials.
Yes.
So we've got to balance which ones we're going to do when. Okay. So how would you rank Omniums above GHS as an example?
Would I rank it above the GHS?
Yes. Would you rank Omnium qualifiers above the GHS or below?
That's quite tricky actually. The GHS is really important to me, it really is. I want to do well and I want to win it this year. But the Omniums, because I know it's important, it's a way people from British cycling look at you through these track Omniums and through these leagues. So in that sort of retrospect, in importance in the grand scheme of things, I'd say omniums are higher. But for me personally, the GHS is really important because
Okay.
I want to be.
So I think what we have to do is we have to find that balance. We have to find the balance of making sure we can qualify in the omniums, perhaps doing enough to qualify,
Yeah.
while still maintaining focus on GHS. And then, once we get the GHS out of the way, really start to focus on the omnium final once you've qualified.
Yeah.
So if you keep your GHS as a gold event, you keep your omnium qualifications as a silver event, and then we put the gold event for the omnium track finals, so that you're going to really shine in that. That's what you want to do. Nationals are a bit of an odd one, because nationals are going to pop up every 6 weeks or so. We need to think about a category for those. Obviously you can't have too much gold. You want to be at a point where you're reaching peak fitness rather than trying to peak for everything every 6 weeks. So we'll think about that. We'll think about where we can fit those in. How many nationals are you planning on doing this year?
I think all of them.
So you're going to North West Tour?
Yes.
Going to the Isle of Man?
Yes.
Okay. Going to Scarborough?
Accommodations booked. I
Okay.
don't know if I'm going to Scarborough, but I'm going to try to go to Scarborough.
Okay. But you've got quite a lot going on. So we might have to prioritise, we might have to sacrifice some things at the scope of others. I think we really need to focus on those gold events of GHS and Omnium Final. Okay, great. Greatest strengths, well, coachable and determined. I agree with that. I think you're willing to push yourself. I agree with that. Trainability and work ethic, coachability, it all fits in. I think you're a pleasure to work with. The things you don't like. I know what you do like. I know you enjoy riding with your club. I know you enjoy group turbo sessions. I know you enjoy sessions down here. I know you enjoy coach-led racing, and you like most training. Great. But you don't like the sprinting. So we've been doing some sprint work on Monday nights.
The series, like,
Yeah, but how have you found those beneficial? Just because it's a little bit of strength work?
yeah, it is. It's always good to get the strength work in. I'm always like, whenever I see high intensity Russian pyramid in my schedule, I'm like, oh, I don't want to do this. But I'm like, I know how good this is going to be for me. And so I do it, and I'm like, okay, I actually feel quite good after that. And doing the sprinting on Monday nights is interesting. Doing it on the turbo as opposed to outside, it's slightly different. So even though it's not my favourite thing in the world, it's still.
And I notice, and I understand you don't like sometimes the more technical interval sessions where they get too detailed. I understand nobody likes those. I think
I like tapping into a rhythm and finding it.
Absolutely. Sometimes we just need to keep it a little bit more simple. I'll look into that. We'll see if we can keep routines very, very simple. But as long as you keep seeing the benefit of doing those things. And sometimes we might have to put lots of variation in so that you're doing different things at different times, but we'll try and keep it not too really complicated. We've gone through your major and minor competitions. I think the Summit Slipstream is Summer Series. I think we should see that as racing training.
Yeah.
And I think you're right to mark it as a minor competition. Winter Series later in the year. Well, Winter Series will start early for you this year. You will be riding up. You will get you should get dispensation.
I'm hoping I get my dispensation.
So you get dispensation. So you'll be riding up in the women's in the winter earlier. That's good. And obviously regional and local races. We'll keep those as.
Just find around the place and go, okay, I'm just going to do this.
We'll keep those as training. No training camps yet. That could change. Depends on what we can arrange. I didn't quite get this. Family holiday during the summer holiday. Because when you're 11, I get a long holiday before my family, so that would be later.
because I'm year 11, I get a longer holiday.
Yeah.
I've got like a month or so to myself. I'm basically going to be home alone.
Right.
So if I have a holiday later in summer, it'll be later on in the summer holidays. So
Yeah.
I could do a lot of training stuff earlier in the holiday. And it's sort of just me and my dad.
But this is going to be late June, July, August, where we have classes with events
Yeah.
coming up. So,
I'm probably not going to be going on holiday if I've got loads of
well,
events there.
if you, in this period where you've got the free time, what we need to make sure is that you don't overdo it.
Yeah.
Don't see we be
Yeah.
economic with our training, we be structured with our training. Don't think, well, I'm home alone, I've got nothing to do, I can go out and
Might
ride my
as well
bike for
do it.
5 hours. Okay,
Yeah.
just might have to just train that in a little bit. And remember last year, having a holiday,
Can I interrupt you a moment? Just a bit of photocopy.
you already have, Susan.
Oh!
Remember last year when you took a holiday, it was of no detriment to
Yeah.
your fitness. In fact, the time off the bike was actually better for you. So don't be put off by the holidays. Everybody needs a holiday.
Yeah.
In addition to this, I've seen your schedule. I'm well aware of what you do. I know you understand periodisation, and I think you react well to it. You do react well to adaptation, so we'll keep working that form. Is there anything here that you didn't mention that you think would be relevant?
No.
No?
No.
All good?
No good. Yeah,
Just want to start the track season?
I just want to start. Yeah. We'll get into it.
Okay. Well, that's great for me. Nothing to add. Thank you very much.
That's alright.
We're getting the warm-up done now.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Right, that wasn't too quick.